Wheelchair rolling is an art. It's a skill. Have you ever considered how much skill it takes? How much knowledge it takes? How much you need to know about the technique and about keeping your balance? Well, that's what Michael Hummel and I are going to talk about.
Hello.
Hi there! So last night we were talking, and I said, as far as I'm concerned, the whole, hang on, the whole wheelchair thing
hmm
is art by itself, especially when it comes to dancing. Because, in order to do it, I
hmm
mean, you need to keep your balance, you need to know what you're doing. And for me, it's like watching Cirque du Soleil. So,
I never thought about it like that, but I like dancing, but I'm not very good at it, so I just never thought of it like that.
so let's put the average person in a wheelchair and try to mimic what you're doing.
Okay. well,
What would happen? You probably would laugh.
well, at first, I mean, it depends on what they're doing, how if they've ever been in a wheelchair, and if they're coordinated at all, even out of the wheelchair. Um, I've seen people drive fine, and I've seen people take one push and do a wheelie because
Hmm.
they didn't know what it took to balance. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I every once in a while do a wheelie involuntarily. you know. Oh, there's something I need to go across. Oh, okay.
I
like
do
step.
wheelies just in case, just to see how long I can go.
Yeah. But still, I do believe that it's an art in itself. It's not easy. I mean, they actually had those shows. What were they called? The Wheel Girls? I'm not sure. There was a
Uh,
name for girls in the wheelchairs who did the
Roulette,
dancing.
the roulettes.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
So, um, so I wanted to talk about the skills required as in training, perseverance, endurance, fun, balance, because I believe that people underestimate what it takes. So you know that every once in a while I roll the wheelchair myself,
hmm
and inside it's a blast. I have fun. Um, I mean, I'm good when it comes to maneuvering myself in those tiny little spaces and
Yeah.
corners. And that's the fun thing. That's sort of like the analytical part of it all. But when it comes to going downhill, going uphill, and especially outside, well, please no. I mean, if I have to, I can, but do I want to? No, because it requires so much strength, in your shoulders, in your back, your upper arm, your chest. Well, not just your upper arms, everywhere. I mean, I still have a blister on my thumb from last week, rolling around in the wheelchair.
Once a year, I go to a Renaissance fair in a park. So it's a long weekend of rolling around in a park, which is outdoors and dirt and grass, and parts of it are like thick dirt that like if it's like quicksand, you roll it and then you just can't move. So it's 4 days of that. So I've done that. When we were talking about stories, I remember this one. I went out with friends and I was drunk, and it was in a restaurant, and they picked this. I don't know why they did this, but they picked a spot, or they were going to show us a spot where there was two steps down to it. So me being me, I was like, I don't care, I'll just do it. And I usually can hop them, but I went forward and like I was on the tippy toe of the wheelie bar. I mean the so I almost almost fell, but it was fun though.
But you
You
managed.
there?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can you hear me? Yeah,
yeah, I
I
can.
put in the microphone and then in the last moment, you go. The so
Yeah,
just
I
the
can hear
last
you.
sentence. I missed the very last sentence of it all.
Uh, when me being me, I just went for it, and I was like, "What the hell? I'll just do it." So I went over, and I meant to wheelie and go down the two steps, but my front went forward, and I was basically tiptoeing on the footrest, and I almost fell over.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah,
But you know, that's of course
no,
the
me
thing when
too.
you're
Yeah,
drunk. You're always a little more adventurous, no limits.
yeah. If I
So
was
now
sober, I
the
wouldn't have done
question, of
that.
course, is if you wouldn't have been drunk, then what?
I would have just told them, "Let's sit over here," because I'm not going down there. Because it's
Yeah.
just being smart about it. Yeah.
Okay. You know Jonathan Douglas?
Who?
Jonathan Douglas. He wants to join.
Oh no. Oh, okay. No, I don't. I don't know him.
Okay, Jonathan, we are talking about the whole wheelchair balancing act and the skills. So if you want to join because you know a thing or two about wheelchairs, just leave a comment and then I'll invite you. And by the way, the same applies to your friends because I already saw some out there. You might want to join. But that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So you told me something about you and some physical therapists.
I don't remember what I said. Sorry.
Well, you
Um.
said that it was you against the physical therapist, and they were in wheelchairs, just like
Oh,
you.
that one. Okay. Yeah. I went to. I used to play wheelchair basketball, and we were doing an exhibition game, and they invited physical therapists who have never played basketball in their lives, or wheelchair basketball in their lives, to play a game versus us, and it was fun. It's usually the rules are you push twice, and then you dribble, and they were doing like five or six dribbles, and I mean 5 or 6 rolls, and uh, going out of bounds, and they were completely missing the basket. So it was like watching the whole Harlem Globetrotters, but not as fun.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of skills. I mean, just playing basketball, normally you go backward, you
Mm.
go forward, and of course, normally when you can walk, you don't really think about it because you go back and forth with, you know. Then again, of course, when you're in a wheelchair, I suppose that you're used to going back and forth like other people are going back and forth walking. But then again, it's and you have to think about what your hands are going to do, and you have to think about how to move your wheelchair. And then, of course, a body is far more flexible compared to a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So then it comes to balance and all the
Mhm.
tricks behind it. So how did they deal with that? I
Well,
mean, what?
I've seen people in wheelchairs who didn't have good balance and they would fall out of their chairs when they really didn't have to, and I've seen like the wheelchair basketball NBA version be able to like play and weave in and out of players and not bump into any of them. Like if you
Yeah,
watch a professional wheelchair NBA game, like there's no bangs or hardly any bangs. Any they go in and out and weave in and out, and it's just really nice. Look, it's really beautiful to watch.
yeah. I must assume that it's like second nature at some point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you were doing it for years and years and years, it's even after a couple of years, it's going to become second nature. You're going to get a
Yeah.
lot better. It's just practice, like everything else.
Yeah, I assume it is. I mean, I don't think about turning a corner. What I need to do is the wheelchair, or when going into the elevator, all I need to do is check how much space is there on either side, and that's it.
Yeah.
But and occasionally I get jammed with my hand because I misinterpreted it, and but normally, yeah, I really, I no, I really don't think about it. But I don't know. I did it sometime when I was growing up, just for the fun of it, and then later on, I did it again,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe because I've been playing drums and always, doing things with two hands, it's easier for me. I don't know. When it comes to coordination, I'm really good. Not when it comes to coordination of throat,
Yeah.
then I'm really bad. When it comes to coordination, doing things with both my hands at the same time, I'm really good at it.
Yeah. I'm not very good. I mean, like, basketball is the only sport I could ever play. Like my
Yeah.
brother and I catch one time with a baseball. It was a softball, but still. But
Mhm.
I have, because of my disability, I have uh, my depth perception isn't as good as it should be.
Mhm.
So it clocked me in the face. But like a
Yeah.
basketball, it's big. I can get it. So that's a lot easier. If I was to play baseball,
Hmm.
I'd be having a lot of knots in my head from getting hit.
Well, if it's just the difference of the ball and the weight. I mean, I assume that it's the difference in shape and
Well,
size.
basketball is bigger. It's uh, shaped differently. Well, it's not. It's round. I mean, there's different designs on each ball.
Hmm.
Um, and a baseball is harder, but because a basketball is bigger, it still hurts.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. I don't know if you know this, but I do these stability exercises like weekly with my physical therapist, and he has this habit of sometimes throwing it, in an unexpected way, and then it's like it just hits me here, and I'm like, "Ow!"
Yeah,
Or it hits my fingertips, and they go backwards, so
yeah,
that can, just when it just hits your fingertips, ow!
yeah.
And I mean, with the basketball, of course, you throw a lot harder than he will ever do.
Yeah. I sprained my finger one time. It was purple, and it was purple, and I couldn't bend it for like days
Oh, I believe you.
because
I believe you.
I caught it, or I tried to, and the ball hit right there
Yes.
on. So it was, yeah, it was not pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, and it hurts.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's basically why when they have to realign the whole thing. So, that's my thing. That of course when it hits me hard, then this starts moving all around.
Yeah.
So that's why I have first I do the exercises and then they realign me again.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the way it works. So we have strength training and then it's time to put me back together again.
yeah.
So yeah, but I still think it's when you talked about it, I was like, oh my God, that's actually a funny story. I just I don't think that a lot of people realize the
Hmm.
skill it takes and also the effort it takes because I believe that compared to people who can walk, that the energy they use and whatever they have to do, it's just not comparable to what you need to do when you are
Yeah.
in the wheelchair.
Yeah. It's com- it's it's comparable, but I mean, it just takes, it's a learning curve. I mean, and it depends on, like I said, like how well coordinated you are, and how you judge the wheelchair itself. Because I've like people have told me like, oh, I know what it was like to be in a wheelchair. I was in one for 6 months,
Hmm.
which doesn't mean anything. Be in it for 2 years and then a few years and then we'll talk. So it's just a matter of how they judge it.
Yeah, and of course, if you've been in there and you were only on the inside, and then when you were on the outside, you got transported, or you
Yeah,
were doing the heavy stuff outside, because it's outside, which is always a little bit tricky. That's, on the pavement, that's and
yeah,
tiles which you do not align, and getting up the sidewalk, going off the sidewalk,
yeah.
cars which are parked on the corner. So those are
Gravel
the
and
things.
gravel and dirt are my enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go through the gate, then of course at some point there's security.
For what?
If you want to fly in
Oh yeah, when I've
between,
flown this pretty.
yeah. So what I've come to experience is when I really couldn't stand, they let me go uh, through the scanner or around the scanner with the wheelchair. And then of course they would literally check everything, you know,
Yeah,
like twice, including the wheelchair, even though it was their own wheelchair. Um,
yeah.
but have they ever asked you to get out of it, even though you can't?
No, they just always say go around the scanner and then they wand me and then
Yeah,
they open the bag and check it. That's it.
yeah, that's pretty easy actually.
Yeah, they've never asked me to get out of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
um, yeah, so that's it has its advantages, I have to say. Especially, I get guidance. I don't know how this is, but okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tired. When
Okay,
I go
I am
to the
too.
airport, okay, it's not good. I've
I like
been.
I woke up at like 2:30 this morning and I haven't been to bed since, and it's 3:30 right now.
How come that you woke up so early?
Sometimes I can sleep like the dead, and sometimes I can't sleep at all.
Hmm. Okay. A specific reason?
No,
Things going on in your mind, or is it mental, physical?
sometimes I can't shut my mind off.
Yeah, okay, so mentally. Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard thing. So sometimes I watch some television, to fall asleep or listen to some music. For a long time I did meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but it varies, especially lately. But today I got up and I've been busy ever since. And normally I sleep a little before we go live, and this time I've been sorting out Lego bits and pieces, with the very, very, very small parts. We've tried to sort them out so the kids don't make such a mess.
Yeah.
So, but as a result, I'm a little tired. So, what I wanted to say, I have no clue what I wanted to say. That's good. um, oh yeah, when going through the airport, I get medical assistance.
Okay.
So I assume you do too.
Medical assistance how? For what?
Well, they push me to make sure that I get checked in time. So they pick me up. They literally help me go through the airport, take
Well,
me in the right elevators, all that
I
stuff.
in my chair, so I don't need any assistance.
So do you wait in line?
No,
They let you
I
go first.
yeah, but I
Okay,
always
so they basically see you and then
yeah.
okay. because that's one of the advantages of the whole um, wheelchair thing, of course.
Oh,
That's
nice.
when they see you and they see like, hey, there's someone who can't wait for a long period of time, that they actually help you move the line a lot quicker.
Oh yeah. That's one good thing. I don't have to stay in line at anything. Like airport, concerts, uh, Disneyland, nothing.
Yeah. So how does that work for you, Disneyland? Tell me, because you have to go up hills, down hills.
Well, I haven't been there since I was 11, so that was 1989. Uh, so I don't really remember much of it, but it's just the same as anything. I was just wheeling around, trying not to get, trying not to run anybody over, and trying to stay away from the crowd, and that was it. Just
Yeah.
want to go on a ride, go to the front, and then be done, get off.
Yes, I totally get it. And you know, when you said so about not trying to run anyone over the last week, it was so much fun. I literally heard you saying it when I almost did
Well,
it myself.
if somebody pisses me off, yeah, I'm gonna nudge his ankle,
Yeah.
but I try to be nice.
Try. That's so
I
funny.
try.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's good. So, what would you say for you has been the most challenging thing when it comes to being in the wheelchair?
My front caster's breaking while I'm in the chair.
Hmm.
Like I'll be
Yeah,
rolling.
okay. So basically, equipment failure.
Yeah, I'll be rolling, and then one of my casters will fall off, and I'll go like that, and like tip over almost, and I'll have to balance myself to make sure that I don't like completely tip over. So
Hmm.
that's the only bad part that I've ever noticed.
So
Well,
how often
the
has this
worst
happened to you?
what
How
a
often has this happened to you?
couple times. Last time it happened, I was playing tennis, and then it just came off.
So how about wheelchair maintenance?
Um, I try to I keep my screws tightened as much as possible. Like
Hmm.
often, I'm tightening them often to make sure that they don't like come apart.
Hmm. But of course, it's not just the screws. I mean, if there's something like metal fatigue.
Yeah, my wheelie bars break off. Uh,
Hmm.
Not often, but they have multiple times.
Yeah.
But it's basically those two things that are the really the only equipment uh, problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine like I'm riding my bike, and then my
Mm-hmm.
front wheel would just move,
Oh well,
and I would like go down. I think
that's
that's
weird.
comparable.
No, it's comparable. It's probably worse. I've never heard of a wheel on a bike moving
Yeah,
or
but
while you're
that's
riding.
what I mean. Like normally you get maintenance, all that stuff. Um, but yeah, the metal fatigue in a front wheel is of course a different story compared to those tiny wheels on the wheelchair on the front part, which basically take all the heat all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's true. I never
Yeah.
thought.
Well, that's why I made the comparison. Like,
Yeah,
just imagine and like, oh my God, what happened? You know, it's basically like one of the brakes isn't working and you're flying all over.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's but well, so when you get down or you're trying to get your balance, doesn't that hurt your back?
It depends on the position, but it can slightly. I mean, I can't stretch or bend my back very well, and that does ache
Mhm.
or I mean or hurt. I mean, there's levels to it, but it depends on where I'm positioned. Really, like right now, it
Yeah.
doesn't. I go to the right that way. It might. Yeah.
Oh, can you repeat that? You were frozen.
Right now, it doesn't. My back doesn't hurt, but if I go like to the left that way and stretch hard, it'll probably
Yeah.
hurt. It just depends on where I'm positioned, really.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I just realized that because of all the wheelchair basketball you've done, that when something happens and you are prone to tipping over.
Hmm.
Oh, I see you circling. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay, that's good. Oh, so when you're prone to tipping over, that you probably already react in a certain way to make sure it doesn't happen, or that you're as safe as possible.
And when I'm falling, the problem with falling over while you're playing basketball is you have to be uh, tied into your chair with a seatbelt. So when you go over, the chair goes on top of it. So like I would fall over and I would put my arms out like this, but I would still go over, and I'd still have the chair going on top of
Okay,
me. Hello,
okay. I'm
can you hear
not
me?
sure if I understand you correctly, because you are still frozen. I can see you a little bit better now, but you said you are strapped in the chair. So if I
So
understand you correctly, you fall over with the chair around you.
I've done that multiple times because the rule is you have to have a seatbelt on you when you're in your chair playing basketball. So when you fall over, the chair goes on top of
Why?
you. It's the rule. You got to be safe. But the whole chair falling on top of you doesn't really. They don't really think of that part.
No, no. But
No
would there be a certain reason why you have to be strapped in?
safety. Keep you in the chair.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I do hope the connection is going to get a little bit better.
Mm.
From what I understood, it's to keep you in the chair.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. So it prevents you from falling out or getting out. Which one is it?
Falling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So has it prevented you from falling?
Not falling, but falling out of the chair. Like I
Hmm.
said before, the chair falls on top of me when I fall out. When I
Yeah,
fall,
that's true. Yeah.
because I'm
No,
tied to
I
it.
meant falling out.
No. Well, yeah, falling out, it prevents you from falling out. Yeah, all the time. It's very good at that.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that the people here have a really bad balance,
Hmm.
that for them it's easier to be strapped in. So maybe,
Maybe that could have an
yeah.
effect. That could have a effect on it too. I
Hmm.
never heard of that. It might be. I get it though, because you don't want to fall out unintentionally.
No, exactly. Maybe when people have spasms or something. I mean, I can understand that could be an issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, actually, I have to admit that if you say basically only the I always forget the name. So let's call it the tiny front wheels coming off
Hmm.
is the worst thing. So there's for you when you face the outside world, there's nothing that would keep you from going anywhere. You could basically go anywhere depending on, I don't know, maybe what kind of service there is outside. What would you say?
I didn't get the question. I'm sorry. What was that?
Well, um, when you are outside in a wheelchair, do you ever think about where you're going or if there's something you cannot do?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
can you do just about anything?
I can go anywhere. It's just a matter of do I want to push through the gravel or the dirt if I end up there. But other than that, that's I can go anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, gravel and dirt is, of course, let's put that aside, but that's true. If
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to be outside and it starts to rain or there's snow,
Mhm. Well, yeah, ice does make moving around hard. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought of that because I've been in Vegas for 20 years, so I don't really have to deal with that anymore. So
Yeah,
um,
that's true. That's true.
when I was in New York, I did have to deal with that.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. I didn't realize. Yeah, you're in Vegas, of course. So
Yeah,
that makes a whole big difference.
yeah.
So, okay, so something you can remember that maybe people watch you and were like, "Wow, did you do that?"
Um,
But
Getting back in my chair after I fell down.
hmm
Most people don't think I can do that.
hmm
It's just a matter of getting the chair back on its like right side up, and then just pulling myself back in,
yeah,
which is why having strong arms is helpful.
yeah. I recently saw this video about this guy. I forgot his name because, well, I looked it up. But anyway, they had amputated his legs when he was a little guy,
Okay.
and the lower part of his pelvis was a little underdeveloped.
Okay.
So his waist was shorter than normal, and he would lean on his hands and basically walk on his hands. And
Okay.
at some point, and that's what they said, uh, it would um, it would hurt, it would harm his shoulders and
hmm
his joints because, of course, they are not meant to do this. So
hmm
how does that work for you? Are you saying no, no, it's easy, no,
Uh,
no problem?
Eventually, my shoulders are going to go because it's a matter of picking myself up all the time and picking my chair up and putting it in my car all the time, and so eventually my shoulders are going to go. But right now, they're okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as they're okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. When you put your wheelchair in the car,
hmm
is it because it's very light that you can do it easily?
Yeah. It's only like 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm. So for some people, 20 pounds can still be heavy.
Well, yeah. I
But
mean,
that's,
there's mine's 25 pounds, but
yeah,
there are chairs that are even lighter than that. So
yeah.
yeah.
But still, it basically what it tells us is that you have got a lot of muscles. You know,
Yeah.
you're very muscular. And that's why it's easy to just move 20,
Yeah.
25 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I didn't like just get muscles just because. I mean, I work out 6 days a week. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that I need my shoulders and I need my arms because of my chair. So that's why I do it. Well, part of why I do it.
Oh, I didn't realize that you work out 6 days a week. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So what do
Yeah.
you train when you work out?
Mondays I do back and biceps. Tuesdays, chest, triceps, and shoulders. And then I just do Mondays and Wednesdays the same. Tuesdays and Thursdays the same. And then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays the same. And then Saturdays I just do what I do on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays I rest.
Okay. So you can walk, right? Not
I
easily,
can
but you can.
I hardly ever do it, but I can.
Yeah. So would you be able to do leg presses, leg curls, all that stuff?
It's not smart. I mean, I've done like this is me. I've done this with my legs, like pulled my legs up,
Hmm.
and that way, but no weights on them.
Yeah, okay. So just to move around, but it's something you prefer not to do?
Yeah, because I don't want to break my legs. Yeah,
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So that's where you actually know that the strength and the development is
yeah.
not as good as
Even
your
with
upper body.
braces, I want to put undue stress on them.
Hmm. So have you ever broken your legs before?
Oh, tons of times. Yeah,
Was
tons of
that
times.
because of the cere- so okay, you tell me again because I get stuck saying it. Cerebral palsy.
Spina bifida.
Oh, that was it. It's because of that that you. Yeah, it's a totally different thing. I know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know. Again, I'm a little, all over the place.
I'm gonna tell
Okay,
my.
so is it because of the underdevelopment of the nerves and all the attachments?
Yeah, because of my disability, I have no. My nerves were damaged, and
Hmm.
just my whole lower body was underdeveloped. Like my bones are brittle, and yeah,
I never realized that your bones are brittle as a result. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen, that that the nerves are not properly developed. I know about that, and as a result, that you can be paralyzed. But that
I can
that it's actually brittle.
I can get easily broken if I depending on what I do because they're smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm like no muscle on my legs and just I'm all bone and skin.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I get that. So how about the length? If you were to stand up compared to someone who has the same size upper body,
I'm five
are you
foot.
okay? Yeah, that's basically says it. So
Yeah.
your legs are also shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
They told me that I probably would be about 5'10", 5'11" if I didn't have a disability.
Yeah, that's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Sorry for saying the other thing, by the way.
No, that's fine. It's funny. I'm gonna tell my friend Nick who has CP that, and
Yeah,
he's gonna laugh his ass off.
yeah. It's not good to confuse the two.
No.
No, it's absolutely not good. Um, but it was, every time, every once in a while,
It happens.
it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, now that you've said it, I was like, oh yeah, of course, I know the difference between the two. It's not that I
Hmm.
don't know the difference. So, but I feel slightly guilty. You can, so yeah, okay. So, is there anything, any other story that you could
Not
share?
that
Just,
I, not that I can think of. Um. Well, once when I was in my teens, I was drinking, and I rolled back to this was rolling back to this camp I worked at, and the guy let me roll basically across the street this way because I was drunk and I couldn't go straight. So that's another funny story.
how many times have you been drunk in your wheelchair when you were young?
Oh, 2004 and 2005 were fun years.
Okay, okay. So if you would list anything else from those fun years,
Um,
anything else that pops to in your mind?
um, I enjoyed falling out of my chair when I was playing basketball. Tell people, I would tell my players, if you don't fall out of your chair twice a game, you're not doing your job. And one time, I was rolling down the court, and there was a guy on the other team across from me, well, next to me, whatever, rather, and he tipped the ball this way. So I rolled over the ball, and I went up and like over it, and I hit the wood right here, and because I told you you had to be strapped in your chair. The chair fell on me, so that was
Yeah.
fun. That
Oh,
was
okay, if you
that was
consider
probably
that fun.
the biggest time I got hit playing basketball.
Uh-huh.
It didn't hurt.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, I'm trying to imagine that with the ball literally just being there in front of you and you're going on top of it. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that must have been a weird experience. Sounded like you had fun though. Ah, yeah, we're back again. Can you hear me, Michael?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. Sorry. What did you say?
Yeah, I asked you if you could hear me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I hit a wrong button and you went out for a minute. My bad.
Okay. Well, basically what I said is, it, in my opinion, it would have been weird, but it sounded like you had fun when it happened.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Like
fun.
it was, yeah. Well, that's a good thing. So, if there's one thing you would want to get across to the viewers
Um,
when it comes to, next time realize this or that.
if you see somebody in the wheelchair, don't stand in at a concert. Don't stand in front of them because they don't want to look at your butt. They want to look at the music they're playing.
Hmm.
Um, just be considerate. Just and watch where you're going because a lot of times I'll be in like going through a mall or a store and people will not be watching where they're going and they'll just like either trip over me or like
Yeah, that's true. People just go left and right. That's one of the reasons why when I'm in a store, I wear my brace
yeah.
because I can't allow myself to make sudden moves. Of
Hmm.
course, that the so have you had people actually like trip and sit in your lap as a result because they didn't watch you where you were going?
No, not right
That
now.
would have been, yeah. Well, that sounds like that would be hazardous for you right away because of the bones.
Well, it depends. I mean, because if I'm wearing my braces, I'm pretty okay.
Hmm.
Out of the braces, then yeah, that would be a problem.
Okay. So you wear braces to protect your bones.
Yeah, from the hip to the foot.
So can you put them on yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
That's easily. So what is like a click system or something? How does
No,
it
you
work? Straps?
pick my body up, put them in, put the my legs in the braces, and then strap them in.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny because I, of course, never have met you, and
Hmm.
I only see you like, well, just a little below the chest. So I have no clue about those things.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need to talk about that next time.
yeah. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, 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 please do. Because, just to come back to the mistake I just made, um, I know a little bit about it as far as how the development has stagnated and what the consequences can be. But when you talk about daily life and how
Yeah.
what that means to you, well, obviously, I have no clue.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and I assume that I'm not the only one who has no clue.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't know. They don't get it. They don't really know. And if you're not going to know if you're around it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that doesn't mean that we can't be educated.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
but
think that's a good thing.
you're not going to be around it. You have to like go out and purposely. I want this specific subject to find out about. So it's and not a lot of people want to do that. You're involved with someone who's disabled or whatever, who's disabled or like that. So it just depends.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a little bit going in and out again.
Hmm.
I think I heard most of it.
Okay.
Uh, but yes. Okay. So if you don't have any
No, good.
funny
That's all.
stories,
No, that's all I have.
yeah, specifically about the whole um, wheelchair thing and
Yeah.
what people should know about it, because
Hmm.
I do believe that it would be good for people to experience what it's like.
Yeah.
Just even if it's like for a few minutes,
Hmm. Yeah.
and being inside, outside, and I assume there would be a lot more appreciation for what you're doing, and that's why I said, just watching the whole dancing thing, but also the whole basketball thing. I consider it the same as the people who are doing stuff at Cirque du Soleil.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it takes training, it takes determination.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I talk to you, I can also see that you see the fun in it.
It's just a matter of how long you've been in, and how much work at it, and
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
It's all a matter of perspective.
yeah, yeah. It's true. The perspective is important.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've been in it for basically all your life,
Hmm.
yeah, that gives a very different perspective than compared to someone who, I don't know, maybe has to be in there for a couple of weeks or because of some ailment, which makes it impossible to walk anymore, all that stuff. So, okay, I think I'm done questioning you about the fun and the not so fun parts when it
Yeah.
comes to wheelchair rolling, and
Hmm.
I still say I consider it an art.
It can. Oh, it definitely can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's not something, and you say of course people pick it up some, depending on their coordination.
Yeah.
Um, but still, it's like, and I think the one thing you said, um, which which emphasizes this the most, is the fact that you work out like 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah. Well, I think I kind of have to because, like I said, eventually my shoulders are going to go. So
Mm.
just make it stronger. That it hopefully takes longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I agree. I mean, the whole muscle building, of course, it's the everything, it gets renewed quicker, blood flows better, oxygen is better.
Yeah.
So of course, but I do have to wonder how many people think about the necessity to do it.
Yeah. Probably most people don't.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to say thank you for this
Okay.
interesting conversation.
Thank
I hope I didn't put you too much on the spot with
you.
every question I asked.
You're fine. Yeah. You're good.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so next week, I don't know if you want to talk about what we are not seeing, um, as in the braces and all that stuff, because I do consider that kind of interesting. But we'll see.
Okay.
Um, so, and other people, if they're watching this and they say, "Oh, I would actually want to share my story when it comes to the whole wheelchair or disability thing."
Hmm.
So they're always welcome
Yeah.
as long as it's in line with the topic, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.